MD at Suntory India, Neeraj Kumar, joining in the show right now. Neeraj, hi, good morning. Good to have you on the show. You seem to be quite upbeat about India's liquor story going by your plans for the new launches. What makes you so bullish at a time when the country's consumption environment isn't all that great?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Well, I think when you look at the premium space and spirits, we have seen occasions and travel and experimentation by Indian consumers to be not really getting impacted. The Indian weddings continue to be a big driver of consumptions. So as long as we are looking at responsible consumption with premium occasions, I think this we believe is the right time for Suntory to announce a scale up of our expansion mode with a 10-year ambition as we go. And in that context, whether it's the scale play in the IMFL segment or with our House of Suntory luxury and premium brands, we do believe this is the right time.
One of your interviews, to Economic Times, you mentioned that regulatory hurdles to premiumization are more of an issue than demand-related ones. What sort have you encountered so far, and how is it that you're planning to tackle those?
When I talk about the general challenges, I think there are many archetypes of route to market in this country. When we import our products, there is a process which we have to undergo for the product to come in front of consumers. When we bottle it in India, there is a different product. So from the overall regime around access to market by way of the RTM or pricing to consumers, which is competitive as our brands are around the world, I think those are a couple of challenges we are working together as an industry and working with the authorities and the regulators. However, from the demand side, I think we've seen robust and consistent growth when I take away the access from the market. Teachers and Jim Beam, which are already long-standing brands in the country from the Suntory portfolio, continue to be growing strong in double digits, and that to me is a good barometer of demand really strong out there.
Neeraj, the IMFL space clocked in just about a 1.2% growth rate for the first 9 months of 2019. What was your growth rate looking like so far?
Yeah, so at the moment we are in the premium, Scotch and above segment with Teachers, Jim Beam. So when I look at that footprint, as we call, and there is syndicated data coming through from Canadian, which tracks this space, we've been growing fairly robustly. Suntory in this last 9 months has clocked a growth of 18%.
Give us a sense as to what your current market share is.
With Teachers, we are in the between 17 to 18% in the market. Again, quoting Canadian.
So, what's the biggest challenge for foreign and imported spirits currently in the Indian market that puts their market share just at about 30-odd%? What would be some of the challenges?
Well, I think like many other categories, I wouldn't think these are unsurmountable challenges. I think it is just that when you go through the process of importing, we need to make sure that the right variants and the right expressions from our portfolio are out in front of consumers. Now, because of the process which needs to get cleared from a customs perspective, couple of other channel interventions which we've seen in the market where the bar owners in Delhi probably have to deplete their stock. I think those are some of the challenges which as a category we need to solve together. Outside of that, from an importation perspective, of course, there is a continuing conversation about what is the right appropriate taxation which will impact imports in India. And that's something which we continue to discuss with the authorities. At the end, Indian consumers are willing to pay a premium price. They are uptrading, they are upgrading, but we would like the pricing to be similar to what you see in the Southeast Asia or in this part of the world, in the eastern region of the world.
The environment in the space is getting pretty competitive as well when it comes to the whiskey market in particular.
It is competitive, and we have very long-standing brands in the country which have been growing, across multiple price tiers. When I look at whiskey space in this country, unlike many other parts of the world, I think it's an extremely strong category within the total alcobev sector. We do have estimates which confirm that more than 60% of all consumption in the country is whiskey, and that is not changing anytime soon. So with that, and then when I look back into the portfolio of Beam Suntory with Teachers and Jim Beam, and now with the launch of our House of Suntory products, which is Yamazaki, Hibiki, I think at the premium end with our single malts, Lefroy, Bowmore, and the Ardmore, I think that is playing in the right space. The one missing link for us has been the IMFL segment, which is the large segment, because 95% of all volume in this country in whiskey is IMFL. And that's where we've announced recently the launch of Oaksmith for the Indian market. And that's really been created by Shinji Fukuyo, the man behind the Yamazaki and Hibiki, who's traveled many times in the last 1 year trying to understand the Indian palate and dedicate this whiskey. And we have a sustainable long-term plan for this brand to get created, or to be for this demand to be created.
Okay, so that's a lot to kind of keep track of. Neeraj, how are you making the most of the holiday season? Any particular pockets within the country that seem to be doing perhaps better than others in terms of demand right now? If you could just highlight any interesting trends for us.
Well, thank you for the holiday wish. I'm in Hyderabad at the moment, and this market has seen some really strong growth in the Scotch segment. You mentioned about market share in Hyderabad. We have today tracking a 32% market share on depletions, and that is extremely heartening for us in the Scotch category. I think the next few weeks and months will be festivities and weddings, and that continues to be a big driver of our sales. I'm also very excited about a Japanese gin we've just announced the launch of, which is called Roku. And Roku is 6 in the Japanese kanji character, which fundamentally means there are 6 Japanese ingredients. Now, this could be an interesting brunch time drink, because there is globally a gin renaissance which we are witnessing, and I'm hoping that we will be able to stir up a little bit of action with Roku gin in India. So I would just wish consumers and our entire party and festive goers enjoy their spirits responsibly during this festive season, and not drink and drive.
Okay, thanks very much then joining in and giving us a sense as to how the overall business is shaping up, the market, your market share, as well as growth plans. All right, that's the word coming in from the management of Beam Suntory, Neeraj Kumar, talking about how they're high on expansion plans in India.